Hi, I'm Hana, and I'm in the BA Test Kitchen to have a super secret conversation about Chris Morocco. Once again, we're putting Chris's super taster abilities to the test. This is Chef Bobby Flay's cheddar black pepper waffles with sausage and apples maple agrodolce. I'm challenging Chris to recreate this dish with all of the ingredients in just one day. He'll be able to taste it, touch it, and smell it, but at no point will he be able to see this dish. At the end of the day, we'll come back to see his final creation, and I'll be the judge.
Easy day, easy day, easy day. Okay, we're good. Huh, interesting. It's bringing me someplace, but where? It was like a saucy, brooding, meaty chicken Caesar salad. Like that's what came into my head. Huh. Sort of like a crispy coin of breakfast sausage, but then how does the sausage get crispy all around? Feels like incredibly earthy. Similar to like a thyme, but like a little bit sweeter maybe. So I've got like a square object with like a thing on top of it that is like very slippery, silky. Actually tastes like cooked out, thinly sliced like apple maybe. How is it holding together that well though? It's like very resilient. There's a brininess here, black pepper, very present. Maybe there's like a little bit of maple. It's kind of like agrodolce thing is the dressing for the waffle, right? It's like the same flavor as the pickly situation, and yet the texture is like completely different. Like this is reading a little bit more like onion, like a little bit of parsley. Meanwhile, I've been holding this whole time. This appears to be a Belgian-shaped waffle. It's almost got some heat to it. A little eggy. I also feel like there could be some like cheese. There's just kind of like an intensity of flavor. It's not simply white flour. That feels like it was olive oil with one of our faulty squeeze bottles that everybody insists on persisting with. It's grassy, it's peppery, it's really bright. I'm just like not gonna move at all. There's pools of oil just kind of lapping at my, What the is in there? Is there like literally like chef's knives with the tips pointed up? In glass? What kind of a show is this? I'm gonna see if I have a spare pair of socks somewhere. I'm just gonna tackle things one at a time and just rethink this whole squeeze bottle situation. Breakfast, sausage, AP flour, explore buttermilk, regular milk, cheese, sharp cheddar, ooh, maple syrup, onion. So like an apple, Pink Lady or Honey Crisp, something that has a chance of holding together. What kind of vinegar are you putting in that? Cider vin, you know, fitting in that world. That's all my ingredients for the minute. Somebody's gonna shop these ingredients for me, and then I will have my first shot at making this dish. I wanna just like get some iterations of this waffle batter. So we've got AP flour, got baking powder. In the presence of heat is going to create air bubbles. Baking soda, because I'm putting an acidic element in the form of buttermilk. Working with like a southern influence. 2 eggs. I'm gonna do a little bit of butter melted. You need richness, and butter does a great job of bringing that to a pancake or to a waffle. Then let's shred some cheese. Got cheddar cheese. Salts, whether you go sweet or savory, salt is essential. I'm really curious to see how this works out. I want an adequate amount of wet to dry, so that's tending towards a little bit of dryness. I need a good bit more liquid, just kind of undershot it a little bit. So now the cheese, a little bit of cayenne to sort of wake things up, It could be something else, but I think it's a reasonable place to start. This is just a tester. Felt a little anticlimactic. I wanted a little more sizzle, a little bit more plop plop fizz, you know, but here we are. All right, there's something happening. That's good. Okay, well, like, not a waffle. I feel like it's never a good idea to try something when it's just like hot. Like any warm muffin tastes good, right? But like the true test is like leaving it alone till it's like absolutely room temp hours later, and is it good then? That'll be for sausage, and then does it make the most sense to brown off the sausages, pull them to the side, and then build up this kind of saucy, compote-y mixture in the same skillet as the sausage? Let's just treat them as two separate things. Sausage over here, and then fruit mixture over there. This is the pink lady, the slightly more oblong, and this is the honey crisp. I feel like anecdotally they hold together really well. Honey crisp maybe a touch more tart. Texture is wonderful. I feel like honey crisp is just like, that's my desert island apple, you know? Apple going in. The onion is really just like, feels wrong, doing it anyway. Quarter yellow onion. Agrodolce is sort of like Italian notion of like sweet and sour. It reminded me of that. Something that was like very sweet, also with like quite a bit of brightness. Black pepper, salt. We'll see what happens when we cook this. So now I think we've waited a sufficient amount of time to see what's going on inside this waffle. So the waffle feels a little bit dense, a little bit claggy, as my man Paul H would say. This doesn't quite have the savory intensity that I'm looking for. I don't know that the buttermilk is correct. I just want to take a new approach. I'm just going to keep the flour the same for the minute. Stick with eggs, more butter going. So we've moved away from the buttermilk and have gone towards just regular whole milk. I don't know, I just didn't really recall like tasting something like quite so tangy in the original dish. We're not doing the buttermilk, so I'm not going to use soda. 2 powder. Salt. Sugar is going to round out some of those flavors. Cayenne. And we're gonna up the cheese. I mean, it's just a very dense mixture. All right, sausages, let's just go ahead and call these done. Cory, open your mouth. I just faded right. It's okay. No, your laptop's fine. Maybe reduced too much. Maybe looking a little too candied there. All right, so here we have my first attempt at the dish. It's funny how at this stage in the game, seeing yourself do something, even if it's not right, feels very validating. Crispy breakfast sausage all the ways. The apple's interesting. It's like, it's very sharp. I feel like I just over-reduced the mixture. Like it's almost like it's candied. I mean, the waffle's like good. It's got like good moisture to it. Ingredients, let's say maybe a 70. Technique-wise, we made a waffle in a waffle maker. We cooked an agrodolce mixture. We cooked the sausage, made it crispy on all sides. I don't know, that sounds like a lot, like at the very least like an 80 to me. Appearance, maybe like back to a 70. Well, something feels like it's a little bit weird here. I think taste, we're a good ways away. 65. All right, I have the actual scores. Oh, an average of 83. That is wild to me, wild. The ingredients thing is tough because we have a multi-component dish here. I could be doing great when it comes to the waffle, but super poorly when it comes to the agrodolce. All right, so I've got one more chance to taste the original dish, and then I will have my last shot of putting it together. It's like it reminds me of something, but at a certain point, like, is it just reminding me of this dish? It's tricky. I can't tell like to what degree the syrup and the apple get actually cooked together. Is there just syrup drizzled over afterwards? It feels a little juicier, a little like fresher. I don't know, suddenly I'm like missing the heat from it. Could there be hot sauce in the batter? You know, just enough to kind of stay subtle. Also just thinking about the buttermilk. Okay, I'm calling it. All right, so I'm gonna get my ingredients back and try this for the next and last time. Got the buttermilk back. Hot sauce in the waffle. Like hot sauce on the waffle. One thing that was kind of apparent to me, it just felt like the original waffle was a little bit lighter than what I was able to achieve. I'm gonna try backing off the flour slightly and going back to buttermilk. I'm not even looking to it so much here for bringing like overt tang as I am for helping with our leavening and keeping this waffle feeling light despite the fact that it's got a lot of cheese in it. Gotta like boost the leavening a little bit just to get out in front of that. Butter's melted. Sugar. Salt. Yeah, I don't know about the hot sauce. It's a lot of cheese. It tastes pretty damn cheesy though. I mean, it's looking a little tight. I don't know, we'll see how it does. Same cut on the apple using the mandolin here. Sausage is done. I love the flavor of breakfast sausage. Something about that sweetness with the sage. Oh my God. As soon as it's crispy, I'm gonna transfer it off to the side and then cook out the apple and onion right in the same skillet. I like what's happening there, softening the texture in a really intentional and deliberate way. I feel like I'm ready to introduce maple and vinegar. Hit it with some black pepper. I like that we've preserved a little bit more of like the freshness of the apple. It doesn't feel like quite so kind of candy, jammy, chewy. Ugh. I'm kind of feeling like that is our syrup. And parsley. Not bad, right? Come on. I mean, there's not like a whole lot that changed here. Ingredients, I was at an 80. So like, I think I might have to stay with an 80. For technique, I would say 85. I'd love to think that I made a good call in terms of how this apple component is getting cooked. Appearance-wise, I was looking pretty good before, so maybe I'll just stay with like an 88. When I think of flavor, it's like, it's a little bit of like the texture, the structure. So I'd love to think that like maybe we're like, you know, in the 85 range. All right, so this is what I got to put up for judging, and I will see how I did.
Hey, Chris.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay. I wanted just like an easy, straightforward day, and of course, I don't know that that's quite what I got, or at least it didn't feel at the time like what I got. But your words were ringing in my ear. You know,
What,
like maybe,
judge?
no, don't overthink it.
No, don't overthink it.
Like, okay, I can try that. It's like the summer I decided to be like, be cool. It didn't work, but I tried.
Chris, may I present to you Chef Bobby Flay's cheddar black pepper waffle with sausage and apples maple agrodolce.
Okay, wow, okay. I think I strung that together. Cool, okay. Is there buttermilk in the waffle?
Yes, there is.
Butter?
Yes to butter.
What is the source of the acidity in the agrodolce?
Apple cider vinegar.
I can walk. I'm good. You can cut.
You feel confident, I see.
Well, no. I mean,
now
I don't know. I ended up putting the black pepper only in the agrodolce because I was really missing it, in especially the second tasting of the waffle.
It's not just the black pepper you're missing here. It's also the hot sauce.
Oh.
So he uses a couple of generous dashes.
Sure, you could put a couple dashes of hot sauce in there.
Yeah.
Hard to pick it out. Like, there's less batter in his waffle iron.
Bobby Flay doesn't take his waffles to the edge. He likes kind of the homemade look.
Can you talk me through more of like the process on the apple component?
Bobby Flay uses 2 skillets initially, one to brown off the sausage, one to cook down the apples with the onions.
And then the sausage is sliced and then just crisped back up.
It's just added at the end to the apples and the onions. What you did, effectively using one pan, I feel like is perhaps even more home cook friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So I would award you points for that.
But you're
personally.
not going to.
I don't know. TBD. Do you notice a difference between the 2 plates?
Oh, there's like a green-skinned apple there? Like it's like a Granny Smith?
And a red-skinned apple.
I feel like Bobby has to just choose one apple.
While both plates look very similar, there is definitely a dry factor on yours. The saucy, syrupy moment on top is due to both the agrodolce sauce and extra maple syrup drizzled all over. So Chris,
Yeah.
Let's talk scores.
Yes.
On ingredients, you gave yourself an 80, and I actually gave you a 90. You pretty much nailed everything in the waffle except for the black pepper and the hot sauce. Technique, you gave yourself an 85, and I gave you an 85.
Mm-hmm.
So even though Bobby Flay uses 2 cooking vessels, one twice, and you just used the one, I gave you an 85 because that's how I would do it, and I think that's actually how it should be done. Mm-hmm. Appearance, you gave yourself a very high 88.
Uh-huh.
I gave you an 87. It's just a little juicier here, and the edges of the waffles are organically shaped. Taste?
It's sharp, it's sweet. I was begging for there to be like a jalapeno in here.
The black pepper really hits.
Well, the black pepper's in there.
Yeah,
because I put the black pepper in the compote.
You gave yourself an 85, and I also gave you an 85, despite the fact that there was no black pepper in the waffle. I still tasted black pepper in the wonderful compote, and I feel like that brought everything together. You gave yourself a total of 85, and I gave you a total of 87. So, yeah.
Someday we're gonna crack at A territory.
This was tricky, and it had a baking element. Good job.
Thanks, Hannah. Appreciate it. It was a really interesting challenge because it really relied on parsing out flavor and not being forced to kind of decide, is this like a classic recipe? Is this a classic dish? It's its own thing. Bobby's one of those people who kind of like hits like every category. I mean, I think he can write a great recipe for a home cook. He can inspire people, you know, through like TV and video. And he's also, you know, like an incredibly successful restaurateur as well. I feel very, very happy walking away from this one. Mike, there's like a 7 to 8% chance that if I accidentally release this knife, it'll go flying at you and kill you.
That's fine.
Okay. Dude, f***ing boom all f***ing day. Your boom's been in the way. Who needs it? Ugh.